A New Zealand team under pressure to deliver here, leading Wales by 28-24 at half-time. Come back out onto the field. The supporters loyal. The Welsh team have been out on the field for the last couple of minutes. What a thrilling first half we've had. 4 tries to New Zealand, 3 tries to Wales. This is the end of the pool round. Both of these teams, remember, have qualified for the knockout quarter-final stage. And so you could say New Zealand have the bonus point. But it's kind of irrelevant, really. The result of the game is the significant thing. There's Jerry Collins, and there we see Jarvis, who scored that try right on half-time. Richie McCaw. All dramatic players in this drama tonight. Jonathan Thomas, just a young man into the international scene this year, playing well as the second half begins. They're essentially playing for a place at the top of the table here in Pool D. Both teams have qualified. And it looks like from that attitude there and that action by Stephen Jones that Wales will continue to play with confidence and aggression in the second half. In other words, do what they did in the first half, Willie Losay.
Absolutely. The Red Dragons are breathing fire. And look at that. He shaped a kick. Justin Marshall went to charge it down. Changed his arm, and obviously Steve Hansen has said that he wants the Welsh to retain possession, keep the ball in hand. They've looked great in the opening 40 minutes. Concern with John Mitchell for that inside pass and the defensive lapse close to the ruck.
Well, there it is, wasting time. It was a definite tardy effort of getting the ball into the line by the organisation of the New Zealand line out and the throw by Mialamu. So, as a result, from possible attacking situation, Wales have come up almost to halfway. Stephen Jones, very big shoes to fill, coming into the number 10 shirt with the retirement of Neil Jenkins. Harley Williams, and there's one lost forward by Spencer. Running forward with confidence, if not often that is seen.
No, not at all. Handling error as well. The All Blacks are ahead on that department as well. And you could see that Carlos could see Colin Jarvis coming for him.
Players have been called out.
Yeah, I can see it. You will deal with it.
So who's called out? Hewitt of New Zealand?
I don't care what he does. You're not going to do that again. First you're going to stop pushing. You're not going to have a go at him. Is that clear?
Yeah,
all right.
That's fine. I'm not having a go.
Out of here. You get out of here. Up here?
You look at this from the other side. That's not the side that we're wondering about. It's on this side. Bit of a tussle, bit of a wrestling match, and an opinion expressed. Back goes Dave Hewitt, because Stephen Jones has signalled a shot for goal from 48 metres. Look at this wonderful arena. The World Cup final will be here. Who will play the final? .267 points in Test rugby. This is his 34th Test. He hasn't always been the kicker. So he's putting his 100% record on the line from a long way out. Brilliant kick. Great start to the second half by the Welsh. And now it's a 1-point lead to the All Blacks.
Sloppy opening 4 minutes by the All Blacks. Firstly, the penalty for the slow throw-in, then the knock-on, and then the foul play.
And there's the one that's bounced. That's that high bounce that is so common on this ground under the lush turf. Is quite a hard surface, obviously. But little Gareth Cooper here from the Celtic Warriors team. They've formed these new Newcos, they call them. Hunter White franchise teams playing in the Celtic League in Wales, just 5 of them. Based, I think, on the New Zealand Super 12 system. And that good beginning to the second half continues. Sweeney over halfway. Jarvis is inside him. McCaw. Sweeney again.
Ball away, 14. Thank you. That's fine. He was a tackler.
Cooper, a big line-up. And a try coming for Shane Williams. Wales are in the lead.
Tell you why, Delilah. It came from that jump there by Brent Cobain, the second line-out that the All Blacks have lost. And then this man here, Dwayne Peel, so much pace. He had the support of his captain, the presence of mind. Peel again, I thought he was going to get there. Douglas Howlett, he was up, the ball came wide. That long pass there, Spencer going for the intercept. And Shane Williams, he did so much good work in the first half. He is delighted.
So the kick is over. A fantastic effort by Wales. Look at them, they're shaking their head in disbelief. And I'll bet you up the valleys of South Wales, they'll be doing the same. A long pass from replacement fullback Thomas to Shane Williams, and he's in. The kick-off with Wales in the lead now by 34 to 28. Shane Williams has just gone in for his 13th try in only 12 tests. And there he is, kicking away to touch and sending it comfortably over the line. Not exactly 3 rows back into the stands.
Everything going the Welsh way. This is where Reuben Thorne needs to step in, take some leadership. And it starts from the set pieces. Kevin Mealamu has to find his jumpers.
Collins got it to Marshall. Nicely inflicked to Hewitt.
Play. Ball's out, offside.
Spencer this time. Major coming back. Way into the setup. Well, looked like a hand on it in there from McBride, but he's allowed to play. Here is Spencer. Howlett. Muliaina. Corner flag.
Slow your ball up. Slow advantage. Move back to the 5, please. Keep it positive, sorry.
Alex Popham, the player penalised there. Ali Williams with the ball, anything could happen. So they've pushed it into the corner. They want the 7-pointer to get into the lead that way. A 7-pointer would make it 35-34. Competing flags in the background. Williams up high. Somerville. Williams again. Marshall. Spencer, Major. Spencer, this is a lovely set move. And Howlett is in.
First time in the second half, something to cheer about, a set move. Howlett running into the gap right there outside of Mark Taylor, and it was just gas, but all the work was done here by holding up the defences. You saw there number 21 for Wales, Kerry Sweeney. He got held up in 2 minds. The angle, the pace, the execution, well, they had to be the next team to score.
Cheer goes up as the sequence of successful kicks is missed. Wales still in the lead. John Mitchell will perhaps be satisfied. That try gives New Zealand 39 for the tournament so far, and that takes them 1 ahead of Australia after 4 games. They have 38 and England 34, South Africa 27. And for Howlett, 5th try at the World Cup, 29 tries in all. The man coming down to the foreground and coming off is Dave Hewitt. Case Muse is on for New Zealand. So presumably he'll go to the loose head side. Here they go. Collins takes on Sweeney. That one has come right down the centre of the field. Gareth Thomas, who nearly scored a try in the first half. Miliano under this. Caught by the Welsh captain. 10 minutes gone, second half. Collins is in the background and is not looking too well. Sweeney. A very good kick by Kerry Sweeney.
They talk about impact from the bench. They've had it from Gareth Thomas, and this man, Kerry Sweeney, have a look at this. He dropped it right on, well, a metre inside the chalk. And Jerry Collins, he doesn't look too good at all. In fact, he's coming off.
He was in that rather awkward slide and tackle with Sweeney. Seemed to fall underneath him. There's not an obvious limp in the way he's walking, but he's assisted off by Dr. John Mayhew. Marty Hola wants to come into the game as soon as he gets clearance.
They're rocking.
That's against Richie McCaw. And here's a chance for Wales to extend their lead.
They were down to 14 players. That ball is now out. He said that they were rucking, and it was the challenging that was coming in from Colin Jarvis from the boot that they talk about. You've got to come in facing the post. That's what he did.
Through it goes from Stephen Jones, 17 points for him so far, 37 to 33. Marty Hola on for his 21st Test appearance. was Shanklin's fumble. Here goes Case Muse. Chance for New Zealand here from a bad fumble by Shanklin. Goal line is up top left. Where is number 17 for New Zealand? The try-scoring, driving, drop forward Case Muse. He's got the ball. He's got the ball 5 metres out. Marshall. McDonald backed up by Spencer. It tipped off the fingertips of Doug Howard here.
Have a look at that. Just that last pass there, the ball dropping in front of Doug Howard. It didn't carry.
Number 1 red down.
We have Yeston Thomas down. There he is, known to his mates as Billy. Here's the ex-member of the New Zealand Police Force, Steve Hansen. Before the World Cup, there were many calls back home in Wales for Hansen to resign. Now, it's a tough life to be a coach. Here's another man who knows that. Ask any of the coaches here at Rugby World Cup. Case Muse back again on the loose head side like he was last week. Poppin, surprised with a good strong run.
He fell down because your man held it. This man here, holding it, he was on his feet. Then he fell down because of him holding it on. What a problem.
It's only the 7th penalty, but Marty Holler did everything technically right. Have a look, Popham broke there. Marty Holler on his feet. And the tackled player must release the ball.
So logistics tell us Ali Williams, but it's gone instead to McCaw. So they mix it up at line-out time. Maialamu sets himself. So does Muse. It's there on the New Zealand side. McCaw. Williams is with him. Marshall. Major. Muliaina. No try held up.
Oh, that's brilliant defence from Wales, and it's brilliant camera work as well. Have a look at this. Inches away, trying to get the ball down on the line. No way.
We're trying to get in the action all the time from fullback. This World Cup, Muliaina.
I didn't say engage, but there's no stop. Hold it.
So in the rearrange New Zealand scrum, McCaw is number 8. And see on the side here, McDonald is on the flank here. Which means Thorne is out at second 5'8".
I don't know how much weight will be coming on Case Muse's left thigh with Leon McDonald there. Not renowned for being a flanker.
There he is, trying to hide, I think.
Case Muse just saying, are you there?
Marshall.
Okay.
Up again.
That he's watching. Thank you.
A real test of Richie McCaw as well. The best open-side flanker in the world, now in the unaccustomed position of number 8. Plays there for his club. But this is a totally different level.
Look at McDonald trying to give it everything. It's been spoiled by the Welsh team who kick it away and make the save. Jonathan Thomas.
Well, that's the difference. You're missing a 150-kilo lock in Brad Thorne in the engine room. No point thinking about the fancy stuff if you can't do the set pieces.
Williams, Marshall.
On your feet, everybody, hands up.
It's Hola out there. Brad Thorne. Sidoli with Marshall. Muse caught by Cobain. They're 15 metres from the goal line. Marshall again. Cobain again. Somerville driving. Marshall. Muliaina. Marshall. Hola right near the line. And it's in the hands again of Muse. He takes them on.
There we go, short. It's in the air. There it is. Black ball getting forward. Little more to go up.
Listen to the applause of the crowd. They are loving this contest.
Red, 4. Number 4, stop.
So Brent Cobain is being subbed off, and Chris Wyatt is coming on for Wales right at a critical time. So Cobain replaced by Wyatt, and good round of applause for Brent Cobain as he comes off. Australian-born, way up in the far north of Queensland by Cairns, a place called Innisfail. And now Gethin Jenkins gets attention. Willie, tell me, what's happening here?
Well, the All Blacks are trying as desperately as they can to get across the line. Superb defence from Wales, but just the All Blacks, they just need to be a little bit more patient. The gaps will come. And a brilliant attacking position. Carlos Spencer is right behind the scrum. All of the backs are out to the left except Muliaina and Howler out on the right.
Back there. Back there. One to the front. Yep, go.
Quickly taken. Major. Defence is superb.
No advantage.
Not forward. But they weren't back 10. They went back behind the goal line. Another chance for New Zealand here.
The underline now. Don't be silly, thank you. And you right.
Yeah, I think the referee might be echoing the words of his coach there. Don't be silly, Ali. Williams, give it to someone who knows about these things, and they're going to take the scrum. Or are they?
Yeah, after this. Listen, your people are not listening to me. They're affording them, it's your ball, they're sitting, waiting for them. You guys staying out, you're moving off the mark, and you hit without my engagement. Exactly, exactly. Just listen for my engage. And be ready, it's their ball. No questions. There's no debate. Just be ready. Do what they do on your ball. Thank you.
Rob McBride, the hooker there. I've never met anyone in the front row that doesn't want to question the referee.
Spencer! Carlos Spencer! Puts the All Blacks back in the lead.
Well, he is a slice of heaven. He came from the blind side, the angle, the pace. That's what had all of the Welsh defenders beset. Have a look. McCaw picked it up. Marshall ran right. Carlos came left. Oh, the gallant effort from Gareth Cooper. They call him King Carlos north of the Bombay Hills. And that 12th try in internationals couldn't have come at a more crucial time for the All Blacks.
The 300th try in this World Cup. It didn't quite But New Zealand have the lead, 38-37. We look again at the angled run. Cooper was chasing. Cooper dived, but Spencer was through. Mefford Davis comes on as hooker, and Robin McBride goes off. So now, what is the reaction of New Zealand now? A boot goes flying from McCaw, so he's playing with one on and one off. Here goes Spencer and Major. Deep push, trapped by Gareth Thomas. He can't kick it out from there on the full anyway. So he tries to run it and is caught. And here is McCaw picking up his boot in midfield.
Number 21 red.
And now
20,
there is a substitution.
That shot on number 7 black was high. Go down, please. High. Just go down on the tackle. Okay, take the line. Yeah, I'll wait. Sure.
Earlier infringement. That's Alex Popham, the number 8, standing on the wing there.
I don't know. Whose ball is it? Big ball.
Nobody in behind for the All Blacks there. On that shot.
Shoot down. Wait.
A lot of pressure on Marty Holler coming on.
Okay. Open up.
And Richie McCaw going to the number 8 position.
White with Popham behind. And up goes the big man. Wasn't originally in the Welsh team for the World Cup. Made his mark nicely there. Taylor is caught by Major. 18 minutes to play. It's a 1-point game. Muliaina. Advantage for a knock on there. Being played still.
No, you have the ball.
Fast hands. See, she's Mealamu 40 metres out. Oh, advantage red, but they crossed over. That was a snap decision by referee Watson right there.
Man, we mentioned Marty Holler was knocked on there, and then again by Gareth Cooper. Mark Taylor was away.
Just a good hit. Stay up, please. Stay up. Okay, break up. We've got time out anyway. We're going to do that now. 8 red. 8 red.
So David Jones
All your big boys.
is going to come onto the field, number 19.
All your big boys.
All you big boys, says referee Watson.
Now the guys are hitting early. They're heading and they keep pushing after the ball. Just be sensible about it, or else I'll deal with it. All right? Is that a deal? Okay. Crouch and hold. And go. Okay, go.
So the new man is David Jones. He's a hard man from Llanelli Scarlets. And he's in at number 8. And there's his namesake. How many Joneses have we got on the field now? 1, 2, 3. No, 2. One went off. Shanklin and Rogothoko. Nothing is run for Rogothoko in the second half. Oh, here's a run by Thomas. Tremendous run again by this brilliant newcomer. Jones, Gareth Thomas, David Jones. Captain meets Thorne.
Oh, look. No. Well, there's people lying all over the show.
Wales have put together 7+ phases. 3 times to New Zealand's 1.
They have, and they've done it on the back of this man here, Jonathan Thomas. That's the second big break he's made in the game. Came out to Colin Jarvis. And thankfully, one of the best defenders in the All Black team, Brad Thorne, was there to meet him.
David Jones, a good man to bring on. Here is Mark Taylor.
All the way, 19.
Taylor lost it forward, advantage New Zealand.
Advantage.
Marshall
Play
kicks.
on.
Advantage is over. Williams going back.
Get out of there, get out of there, get out of there.
That's Shenton's kick. We have a game that is all over the place at the moment, and with a score with New Zealand leading by 1, it teeters on the edge of victory or defeat. It's 15 minutes left only. Marshall, Howlett. Sidoli is the tackler, number 5, round the neck, says referee Watson. And Ali Williams picks up again, but the tackling was secure. And so Sidoli is penalised. A few Welsh supporters here, will say?
The crowd will tell you about it. Well, they're not happy because they thought it was that tackle is the reason it's been penalised, but it wasn't. It was the one before it. That man in picture, Robert Sidoli, he has given absolutely everything to Welsh rugby tonight. A proud history of 123 years. With 14 remaining, well, it could go either way.
That's a very sound push up the touchline by Spencer. Major at the 22, another attack. David Jones, the tackler. Thorne. Now deep into the attack zone they come. Sidoli goes back. Gareth Thomas. Goal line is just behind this. And it's a save coming for Wales.
Ruck going forward.
No, it's not.
Ruck going forward. Left forward. Yes, they are. Oh, is he? Want help?
So the man running on is Mark Davis, former international. So he knows what it's like to be up in the centre. And this looks like Robert Sidoli. Having a look around for him. Sidoli, with a name like his, you might think, how does he get to play in the Welsh team? Well, he's a genuine Welshman, but he's eligible in his early days to make a choice between Wales and Italy. His father born in Italy, well-known Italian family in Wales. But he's chosen the Welsh, and aren't they pleased to have him? Free kick. He didn't call engage. I never heard it, and the Welsh have been warned before, and they went in too soon.
This will work.
With the new changes, the front row are always wanting to test their skills.
Hear that? Guarantee it'll work. Or watch me. That could be penalty try territory. Marshall. Advantage for New Zealand. And Howlett puts it down. Try again for New Zealand. No.
Okay.
Hold the phone.
Can we have a look, please?
They're going to have a look.
I'm happy with everything. We just want to check feet on the touchline before he went over, please. And this corner flag.
Well, Doug Howlett's happy, and so he should be. No question in my mind at the first look there that he is in play. Wasn't forward. Oh, there you go. Richard McCaw's even helping out, saying, let's go to the...
Okay.
He is well and truly in play.
I wonder if it's the hint of forward park. Let's have a listen. Try is scored.
The scrum operates much better when Brad Thorne is in his rightful position. Justin Marshall getting in between two players. The little pop, a slight hint of a forward pass from that angle.
I thought as much.
Doug Harrett's name will be in the paper tomorrow morning.
So the rugby gods favour New Zealand in that little moment there. The score means still that Wales, with a 7-pointer, could snatch the lead in these last moments. And if you doubt that they can do that, have a look at the score again. They've scored 4 tries tonight. Two tries for Howlett brings him up to 6 for the tournament. So he's equal with Muliaina for any team at the World Cup. And that's an attacking kick by Marshall here, so New Zealand still have tries on their mind.
Yep, well, time and possession, New Zealand ahead there, and a great move by coach John Mitchell to bring on the experienced Mark Hammett, renowned for his scrummaging and just his general play.
Wyatt to Jenkins. Sweeney. Thomas, who's played virtually all the game. David Jones. Stephen Jones. Jonathan Thomas. Oh, space out here. McDonald hasn't touched it much in the second half. Marshall trying to find a gap. Gareth Thomas. Shanklin. Near halfway in Welsh territory. Cooper away to Stephen Jones. To Kerry Sweeney. Now watch for this little spark. And then the big man, Wyatt, who's had experience playing in New Zealand, in club play in North Harbour a few years ago. Quite a few years ago. Taylor gets driven back by McDonald. Space out to the right for David Jones. Here comes Yeston Thomas to halfway. Well saved by Hammett. And now a chase into open territory by Major on Thomas. Jenkins.
Right in here and the shoulder. Come from behind, please.
You heard the call by the referee. The Swinyoung prop just made his debut last year, 23 years of age. Let's look for his role in it.
Yes, so that's the man in frame there on the left. He had already entered the ruck. And you can go over and pat Mark Hammett on the head. It was his experience at the breakdown that secured possession when Wales had New Zealand on the rack. The kick through by Aaron Major has led to this chance for Leon McDonald to extend the lead.
Well, that's a significant one. 6 minutes to play. They're out beyond the 7-point cushion now. So Wales have to score twice in the last 6 minutes. The Welsh coach, Steve Hansen, says, or said beforehand, if his team doesn't compete in this game, and the scoreboard shows that, it will really show the gap between these two rugby nations. Well, look at the scoreboard, supporters of Welsh rugby, and celebrate. And the game is not over yet. 46-37. Marshall. McCaw. Marshall pass and loop. Major halfway line. Marshall again. Tough stuff from Marshall. Carried on by Holler. Into McCaw. To Rokocoko. Two tacklers on the big left winger, who scored the first two tries. Marshall. In pass to Muse. And look at that control from Case Muse. Marshall. That is the goal line just ahead. Rokocoko in there to Holler. Hammett, number 16.
Advantage, laying it up. Advantage black.
The hands were on it. Advantage for New Zealand. Spencer to Major. And New Zealand hits 50. 5 minutes to play. You might say that should do it. But there's been some worried New Zealand fans here tonight.
There's been none better on the field than that man Justin Marshall. He started it from his own 22, well supported by Holler and also Richie McCaw. It slowed down. Well, they were always going to get the advantage at some stage or another. It was 8 phases long. McDonald has converted, but it came through to Aaron Major. Welcome back to international rugby. Have a look here. This is the last phase, the 8th phase. Spencer, Major into a gap, pushes off captain Colin Chavez. Oh, and the All Blacks can breathe a little bit easier.
How about the twists and turns of international rugby? In the team, then out with injury, scores the try, and Leon McDonald converts it. Also in and out of the team in recent times because of injury. 53-37, 4 minutes to play, and still they attack, and still Marshall is handling, and now Brad Thorne. What a great tackle by Thomas, McCaw, Muse. This is where the fitness of New Zealand is working well. Knock on by McCaw.
They're ahead on the handling errors as well, but look at the support play. Brad Thorne, 115 Ks. There you go. I'll take the Maori sidestep straight ahead. Superb tackle, as you said, Keith, from Gareth Thomas. And then the knock-on came from Richie McCaw.
How about the look on Brad Thorne's face as he knew big collision was coming with Thomas? And he was prepared to go hard at the tackle, but Gareth Thomas, 71 Test veteran, did not shy away from the hard work, and a try was not scored by New Zealand. Straight to Big Jenkins.
This man here. Don't look the ball down there. Get off your feet.
So here's Dwayne Peel, who's come onto the field. Meffin Davis, 40 metres out. Peel, the substitute halfback, gets it away to Jones, to Sweeney. Lost forward by David Jones.
No advantage, not on. Thanks, Louis. No advantage, that ball.
Only 16 penalties in the game, and Keith, that would suggest that both teams have respected referee Andre Watson. His calls have been very clear, very precise. That's where it was knocked on by Duffer Jones. but both teams have played the rules, they've played to the referee, and he's had a fantastic game tonight.
Holler, caught by Jarvis. Well, kind of caught. Presented nicely for Marshall, who runs it on the roll. Taylor in collision again, and he's not a happy chap in the last minute. Here is Case Muse to the 22, and he's written down by Peel. Marshall again. Major chipping out wide for Howlett, and Muliaina whistle's gone.
Ahead. Penalty out from there.
Players were ahead of the kick.
Penalty out from there.
There is an injured New Zealander down.
Brad Thorne.
Brad Thorne is injured in the foreground. Let's have a look at this. Well, it was a hairline decision by the referee for a man in front.
You want the line up? It's time for the line out, Jim. Up there. Thank you.
You see number 4 in the foreground there. He's okay. He's up in the action. Just seconds remaining. 53-37. New Zealand supporters were saying they've had all these romps in earlier pool games, and now after this result, 53-37, the discussions will start again. Is it enough? As New Zealand heads into the knockout phase of Rugby World Cup 2003, and the Welsh will be enormously encouraged by this. And what a pass to Shetland! And now it's Peel. And a good tackle by Howlett stops it there. Advantage for New Zealand. Thorne, will they counter-attack? Spencer says yes. And he might run Howlett into position. McCord has got to find Howlett. Rokafoko is running at it, but Shane Williams is back and takes it into the touchline. It is over. We have had a treat. Rugby World Cup sparks itself alive this weekend, and there was no game more exciting than this one. New Zealand win by 53-37. They take out Pool D to the game next week against South Africa. And here is Colin Jarvis.
Colin Jarvis, captain of Wales. I don't know, should I be commiserating or congratulating you?
Well, the obvious one is the commiserations. You know, we wanted to do as well as we could this evening, and I think we're very proud of the fact that we put up a very good performance. We held our character towards the end, but it was one of those games that we could have played a little bit better and probably had a better scoreline effective in that.
Well, you sound very level-headed and cool, but at times some of the rugby you turned on today was fairly breathtaking.
Well, we knew that after our first 3 games that we had to step up a bit to perform against the New Zealanders, and that's what we aimed for this evening. I think that's what we did.
And in the end, what just told? Was it you couldn't keep that up, I suppose?
I think there is a certain aspect of maybe a bridge too far, but we'll be proud of our performance this evening. You know, congratulations to the New Zealanders. They showed their class, especially towards the end, the way they were finishing their tries, and obviously we've got to wish them the best of luck for the rest of the tournament, but we've got another game to build for now, so next week in Brisbane we'll look forward to the English.
Well, commiserations and congratulations.
Thank you.
Just listen to that applause, because that interview is played on the big screen for the people out here to hear and listen to and appreciate. Pride in the performance from the captain, Colin Jarvis. And now here is Reuben Thorne.
Well, it's relief, I'm sure, for captain Reuben Thorne. Reuben, a clean sweep in pool play for the All Blacks, despite a very determined effort by the Welsh tonight.
Yeah, I thought they played fantastic. You know, we wanted a real contest, and they certainly gave it to us.
Were you surprised?
Oh no, they're a very passionate team, you know, and they've improved a lot since we played them in Hamilton, and they showed that tonight. They were very strong and competitive out there.
Just 4 points adrift at half-time. Was the message to turn the focus onto defence for the All Blacks in the second half?
Yeah, I mean, that was the area that let us down a wee bit, you know, so we tried to pick that up and play more in the other end of the field. So we tried that in the second half, and eventually it paid off.
And I guess looking ahead to South Africa now, it's the tough hit out that you guys really needed.
Yeah, it was. You know, it was a real battle, and that's what we wanted going into the quarterfinals. So now we can look forward to South Africa.
Relax for a few days at least. Congratulations.
Thanks very much.
Well, it certainly was a tough hit out, and was it just what the All Blacks needed?
You're right, I think it was, John. They, to me, you know, I played against the Wales years and years ago. Pardon me, I've never seen a game like it.
No.
It's tremendous, and their performance in Hamilton compared with that, you can't compare it. They just played so well, and the All Blacks weren't allowed to get into it.
It just goes to show, doesn't it, in World Cup, if we go back 4 years when the All Blacks beat France by 1,000,000 points at Athletic Park and then went on to that infamous game in the semi-finals, you can't take any notice of prior performances. It's got to be, you know, the match on that day and all that sort of
We've got to remember, it's a tournament.
Yeah.
We've got to remember that. And I mean, today, I agree, the Welsh played with pride, with verve, with passion, all those things. But I mean, and the supporters are really happy. But I mean, we should be happy too because the All Blacks have won.
Yes, of course. Well. Yeah, it was an outstanding game there. And might we borrow a Fitzy? All credit to Wales. They played exceptionally well. And I suppose now we can, at home in New Zealand, say, now we know what England felt like when Samoa took it to them. No game is easy at the Rugby World Cup. We'll come back and talk more about this game between the New Zealand team and Wales very soon. It was fantastic.
Yeah, it was just one of those ones, wasn't it? Just came in the air, and being the tallest, I suppose I meant to catch them. So, you know, it was lucky, but you know, takes our hats off to the Welsh. It was a fantastic game.
Yeah, it was a very tight match, wasn't it? And Ruben said he wasn't surprised at what the Welsh threw at you, but did it surprise you really that they were so different to what you'd seen earlier in the year in New Zealand? You can't hear us, Ali, or can you? Just push that thing in a bit more. Can you hear us okay? No, you can't. He's gone. Okay, never mind. Well, fortunately, you didn't have to answer that long question. So you can go back to your...
Yeah, no, Colin was just talking about the scrummage, and any time Andre Watson stepped in and said, here, listen, keep it up, otherwise I'll red card you, yellow card you, penalise you, they held the scrum up, and the All Blacks scored from it. So I would say that could have been a bit of their tactic, unsettle crowd, get right up close before the engagement and crowd them and make an unstable scrummage. So, you know, you have to give them a bit of credit. They took the game to the All Blacks, but and like I said before, I'd never seen a Welsh team for a long time play with that much passion and that much ability.
Yeah, well, the record, incidentally, 17 points was the previous highest any Welsh team had scored against the All Blacks in a test match, and that was last year. So to get, what they get, 37, that's an outstanding effort, and one which will have them singing in the valleys these days. First try scorer for New Zealand was Joe Rokocoko.
Joe Rokocoko, is it elation or relief?
It's a bit of both, really. You know, we expected a hard game coming up to tonight, and you know, we expected a hard game, and we did get it tonight.
Well, the All Blacks were after a tough hit out. You certainly got that. The Welsh really tight on defence and elusive on attack.
Yeah, it was a bit of both, really. You know, it was good for the crowd to come in. There was fantastic tries that were scored from both teams. But I guess the boys really needed that game, especially with the quarterfinals coming up. There's those kind of times that, you know, really got to dig in and empty the tank.
How frustrating was it to play? Because it looked like the Welsh really disrupted the All Black rhythm tonight.
Like, you know, yeah, that was first, especially from the start of the second half, it was really hard to get our pattern going because we couldn't stick to our game plan because, you know, they were threatening us from all over the place. So it was good to come out in the end. You know, we kept it pretty tight, and another gap started to appear.
Team going to be ready for South Africa?
I think we are now. You know, it's lots of positives that we can bring out tonight. You know, some of the weaknesses with defence, and we'll work hard this week.
Joe Rokocoko, thank you.
Cheers, thank you.
Some more statistics just coming up for you to have a look at now. Secondary phases and passes from rucks. One, gee, Wales did very well. That's not typical of Wales. They spun the ball so often from rucks. 85% of their possession from rucks, they moved it wide. Tackles, they tackled extremely well, but not much difference between those. Wales did miss 29 tackles, but more importantly, I think New Zealand missed 15 of them. Aaron Major was making his return to the All Black team.
Okay, Aaron Major, the All Blacks second 5'8", with us. The first 3 games of this Rugby World Cup, very much one-way traffic. Tonight we've seen some heavy congestion out there. What was that rugby test like as a player out there?
Yeah, it's certainly one of the toughest tests I've played, and they've got to give credit to the Welsh. So they come out and they threw everything at us, and probably a bit more than what we expected. But you know, they certainly gave it to us, and the boys are certainly feeling it inside the shed.
Aaron, all week you talked up the threat that the Welsh posed. Were you at all surprised with the physicality and the commitment they hit you with?
Not at all, really. We knew they were going to be tough, and they just showed that their physical attributes, and their big guys really took it to our big guys, and their backs played really well, and they made some good breaks, and it was hard when we were going back to try and defend that.
I guess the most pleasing aspect of the night must have been the response to pressure. With only a quarter to go, this game could have been lost, and you ended up winning it reasonably comfortably in the end.
It's certainly been our toughest test to date, and I thought the boys remained pretty composed towards the end there, and we managed to get on top in the last 15 minutes, and that was good. Showed a lot of patience there, and that rewarded us in the end.
A feeling as this Rugby World Cup campaign gets down to the business end, this was perhaps just what the doctor ordered, a match the All Blacks needed?
Yeah, for sure. I mean, the intensity hasn't been quite that high in the last few games, so it's good for us to have a good hit out going into the quarterfinals against South Africa, because they played very well in their game yesterday.
And we've got to ask you, how's that knee? You've come through your first run of the Rugby World Cup. Everything fine and ready for another start if required?
Yeah, back to 100%, and it's gone pretty well from here, so I think I'll put that behind me and looking forward to another game, hopefully.
And blowing a little hard, I see now, but good to get the run under the belt.
Yeah, for sure. First game in 10 weeks, always going to be blowing a wee bit, but it's good to get out of the way, and just look forward to heading on from here.
Thanks very much, Aaron Major. Cheers, mate.
Well, we've got Richie McCaw standing there live now. Richie, thanks for joining us here on One Sport. That's a totally different game to what the All Blacks struck against Wales a few months ago, isn't it?
Oh, definitely, and I think we expected that. They came out and really got stuck into us, and you know, we had a great game of footy, and lucky we came away in the end with the win. But it was a good hit out there. And
that's obviously what the All Blacks really wanted, isn't it? A good hit out before you get into the quarterfinals.
Yeah, we definitely we knew that was going to happen, and it is what we needed. But you know, a few little things didn't quite go away. But you got to give credit to the Welsh team. They came out, and we didn't do a whole lot wrong. We just forced the odd pass and missed one or two vital tackles, and they capitalised on it. And you know, they're a good team, and I guess, you know, the boys showed composure and managed to score those tries near the end.
Yeah, Richard Lowe speaking. Great game. The scrummage, did you find the Welsh were coming up and, you know, sort of crowding us a little?
Yeah, they were, and they did it quite effectively. They managed to screw our ball at times, and put our, you know, we didn't get our sides quite the way we wanted, and because of that, the backs probably didn't quite get the ball they're after. But you know, it was a good forward battle, and we did get the ball we wanted near the end, and scored some tries off our set phase, but definitely a bit of work to do there.
What's the feeling now, Richie? It's a good win for the All Blacks, obviously, but is there a sense of, relief or feeling that, gee, we've got to step up a bit more for the big games ahead, or what really is the feeling?
Yeah, we definitely realise we're going to have to step up a lot more going into next week, but having that game is only going to be good for us, and get back training this week, and we're going to look at it and see what we've got to work on, and there's definitely a few things, but I don't think we're too far off the mark, and just perhaps the first couple of tries came perhaps a fraction easy, and perhaps we should have just played a little bit more field position at times, but you know, it's hard, it's easy to say in hindsight, but you know, we'll look at that, and next week we'll have to take another step up, but we realise, you know, as we go through to the knockout stage of the tournament, to get what we want, we're going to have to do that.
Richie, Colin Hawke, the tackle phase tonight was